Hi, I'm Chef Sandy. Welcome back to my galley. Today we are going to be preparing a Caribbean dish. We're going to start by making our Caribbean rice and peas. Now the name's a little bit misleading because we don't really use peas, but in the Caribbean there is an animal called a pigeon pea. And sometimes we do use that when making rice and peas, but in this case we're going to be using some good old kidney beans. You can also do this with black beans, that's very nice. Pinto beans would work, but today it's kidney beans. So the first thing we're going to be doing is getting our aromatics in to saute. So I have a little onion. We'll put that in our pot, and a little jalapeno pepper. Depends on how spicy you want it, feel free to add as much as you like. So we'll bring that up to a little bit of a simmer, just get a little heat on that, and then once that happens, we'll add in some rice. Just cook that rice in a little bit, just dry with no liquid. Now, today we're going to be using a new tool, to me at least, it's a rice cooker. So we're going to be starting this on the pan here, but then we're going to be moving it into the rice cooker. So we'll talk through how that's going to work as we put it into the rice cooker work bowl. But again, we have our onions and peppers here in the pan, and let's go ahead and add our rice. All right, so for those of you who are familiar with rice cooker cooking, this is 2 scoops of rice. So we'll just toast that up a little bit, and once that's done, we'll be ready to move our rice cooker work bowl over and add everything else together. All right, so we've got our rice toasting over here in the pan, and that's in great shape. So we're gonna go ahead and move this over now into the bowl of our rice cooker. And to that, we will add some seasonings, and we will also add our kidney beans. So first, let's add our kidney beans. I'm probably going to use about a cup, okay? Then we'll add a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic, a couple of bay leaves. We'll add about a tablespoon of sugar and a little bit of salt. Thank you to our sponsor, Sal de Fleur, and maybe a teaspoon of paprika. Okay, so now that this is all here, we're going to put in liquid up to that number 2 line on our rice cooker. And you guys that have rice cookers know how this works. Instead of doing a traditional method where you do 1.5 or 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, personally I do 1.5 to 1. But we're going to be using the rice cooker. So basically the rice cooker tells us how much liquid to add. So we'll be adding a combination of coconut milk and chicken broth. So I'm just going to add about half and half of each. So there's a little coconut milk, and again, I'm just aiming for that line on my work bowl here that I can see so I know when to stop adding. Once I do this, I'll put this in the rice cooker and we'll get that going. Awesome, I think we're just about there, just one more splash. All right, now we're gonna put this over to cook and we'll be back. All right, we are ready to fire the main for our Caribbean meal. So this is some jerk chicken. Jerk chicken is marinated, at least my recipe, is marinated in green onion, cilantro, garlic, allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon, and a lot of great stuff. So it typically is marinated overnight, the longer the better. These are thighs. I find jerk chicken works best with thighs. You can certainly do it on a chicken breast, but the thigh is my favorite. So I have my grill pan behind me, it's up to temp. We're gonna throw this on, and you really kind of want to start it off if you're doing it, whether you're doing it inside or outdoors. Normally I cook this outdoors. Today we're doing it on a grill pan. We're gonna start it at a high heat, let it sear on the outside, and then we'll turn it down to a medium heat and let it cook through. So I'll just go ahead and throw this on the grill pan. Now that we have our jerk chicken on the cooktop, let's start with our mahi-mahi ceviche. So I have some beautiful fish here, and this is a fish that we catch very often when we're on the boat in the Caribbean. It's a great fish. It's actually become one of my very favorite fish. It's very versatile. You can do anything with it, from a ceviche like this to a mahi-mahi picada, which I think is kind of cool and unique. Okay, so to our mahi-mahi, we'll add some fresh lime juice. This is fresh squeezed just now. Absolutely everybody, please only use fresh juice. This is just not a time that you ever want to use anything bottled. okay? And you really never want to use bottled lime juice. So that's beautiful. We'll add in a little bit of cilantro and a little bit of red onion. And we'll just give this a nice stir. We'll finish this up with a little bit of salt. Sel de Fleur, thank you again so much to our sponsor. Excellent. And then I'll give it a final stir. I like to add either fresh tomatoes or salsa even to my ceviche. So I happen to have some salsa right here. I'll just put a little bit of this in. You don't want to put in too much because you don't want it to turn your ceviche red, but it imparts a really nice flavor. And then earlier today, I made some homemade tortilla chips because they're just so much better when they're homemade as opposed to the ones from the bag. Sometimes I use the ones from the bag, but my friend Steve a couple years ago reminded me how good they are when they're homemade. So there we have our mahi-mahi. We'll let these flavors marinate, ideally a few hours, so that fish can kind of cook in the acidity of that lime juice. So we'll be back when we're ready to plate that up, and we'll see you soon. Experience the wonder of a holiday at sea in the Virgin Islands or New England on your very own private yacht. You'll experience a fantasy-filled week of white sand beaches, amazing sunsets, gourmet meals, and the best time you can possibly imagine. Make memories with your friends and family that you will never forget. Email us at info@sailthedream.com or visit www.sailthedream.com for more details. Have you ever said, "I'll take that dream vacation someday"? Well, at Cool Cat Charters, someday is now. We offer all-inclusive private yacht charters at every price point, for the more budget-minded traveler up to a full luxury experience. Come celebrate your special occasion or just schedule a family getaway in the gorgeous Caribbean islands. Sail the beautiful islands of the Caribbean and see why so many people just can't get enough. Visit coolcatcharters.com to see a listing of our featured yachts or contact us to learn more about the many other sailing and motor yachts available for charter in the islands.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, everybody, I am extremely pleased to present our Caribbean feast. We have mahi-mahi ceviche, we have jerk chicken thighs, and we have some beautiful Caribbean rice and peas. And we're going to top it off with the classic cocktail of the Caribbean. It's called a painkiller, and it will kill your pain, I guarantee it. It's a delicious cocktail made with dark rum, 2 parts dark rum, all right? 1 part pineapple juice, 1 part orange juice, and 1 part of cream of coconut. Now, a word about cream of coconut. This is kind of the equivalent of condensed milk. It's kind of the condensed milk in the coconut world, okay? There are several different kinds of coconut milk. There's regular coconut milk, there's coconut cream, which is like heavy cream, but it's coconut, made from coconut, okay? So it's kind of a vegan cream. You can whip it just like you can with heavy cream. This is not that. This is cream of coconut, and it's very sugary, it's sweet, okay? So again, I kind of liken it to condensed milk, but in the coconut world. So just don't be confused, because those are definitely products that you don't want to mix and match. So as I mentioned, it's 1 part of each of those. I'm pouring it right here over ice. And then the classic Caribbean finish to your beautiful painkiller is a nutmeg, fresh nutmeg. So this is a fresh nutmeg pod. And we're gonna take that and just microplane it right over the top of our gorgeous painkiller. And that is the beautiful thing right there, all right? So I hope you enjoy. Next time, let's do this on Yacht Le Rêve in the Caribbean, and we'll see you soon.